everyone, things here in Israel are pretty intense right now. We're fighting on 7 different fronts, and the most concerning of all is the looming confrontation with Iran. This could easily turn into a major regional conflict. After Iran's attack on October 1st, many thought it would slow down Israel's operations, but actually things have only escalated. Israel has been ramping up selective strikes, especially against Hezbollah. Last night, Israeli airstrikes targeted a major underground weapons depot in Dahiyeh, south of Beirut. This depot was used by Hezbollah to store ballistic missiles, anti-ship missiles, and long-range rockets. The footage is wild. The explosions lit up the entire city. Now something interesting caught people's attention. There were a lot of people filming before the attack even started. So, how did they know where to point their cameras? Well, it's simple. Israel's military, the IDF, always warns civilians ahead of time about the exact targets that will be hit. This speaks volumes about their professionalism, as they do everything they can to avoid civilian casualties, even though it gives Hezbollah militants time to escape. But make no mistake, Israel's main goal is to take out Hezbollah's arsenal. The militants may get away, but they'll be dealt with in due time. Last night alone, the IDF hit 30 Hezbollah targets, and Israel is determined to keep going until Hezbollah is completely disarmed. This week, Israel also struck a major blow to Hezbollah's political leadership, the Shura Council, which is basically their supreme council. This council oversees all Hezbollah's activities and was previously led by Hassan Nasrallah. Just last week, they were electing his successor, Hashem Safieddine, when Israel hit the bunker where he was hiding. Today it's confirmed Safieddine is gone and he only held the top position for 12 hours. He was well respected by his Iranian backers, and last year he even said, Israel must disappear, no matter how many wars it takes. Well, it looks like he didn't last long enough to see that happen. Along with Safieddine, 2 other high-ranking officials were eliminated. Mohammad Rashid Shafi, Hezbollah's communications division commander, and Ismail Qaani, commander of Iran's Quds Force. You might remember Qaani as the successor of Qasem Soleimani, who was taken out during Trump's presidency. Right now, Hezbollah's leadership seat is empty, and all eyes were on Naim Qassem, their deputy secretary general. But just a few days ago, he not only rejected the top spot, but also resigned from all his duties within Hezbollah. In an unprecedented move, Qassem publicly asked Israel to stop attacking Hezbollah. This is the first time a Hezbollah leader has begged for Israel to stop. It almost feels like a plea for mercy. He also mentioned that Hezbollah will remain leaderless for now. It's clear whoever takes that leadership role becomes Israel's next target, and they have no problem reaching anyone, no matter how deep they hide underground. We'll have to wait and see who has the guts to step up. Meanwhile, French President Emmanuel Macron made a statement this past Saturday calling for arms shipments to Gaza to stop as part of a broader political solution. Macron's stance is clear. He's not just asking to halt support for Israel, he's also conveniently ignoring Iran's attack on Israel and Hezbollah's year-long siege of northern Israel. Israel's prime minister responded strongly to Macron's comments, and you can watch the video here.
I have a message for President Macron. Today, Israel is defending itself on 7 fronts against the enemies of civilization. We're fighting in Gaza against Hamas, those savages who murdered, raped, beheaded, and burned our people on October 7th. We're fighting in Lebanon against Hezbollah, the most heavily armed terror organization in the world, which was planning an even greater massacre than October 7th on our northern border, and that has rocketed Israeli towns and cities for nearly a year. We're fighting against the Houthis in Yemen and the Shiite militias in Iraq and Syria that together have launched hundreds of drones and missile attacks against Israel. We're fighting against terrorists in Judea and Samaria who are trying to murder civilians in the heart of our cities. And we're fighting against Iran, which last week fired over 200 ballistic missiles directly at Israel, and which stands behind the 7-front war against Israel. As Israel fights the forces of barbarism led by Iran, all civilized countries should be standing firmly by Israel's side. Yet President Macron and some other Western leaders are now calling for an arms embargo against Israel. Shame on them. Is Iran imposing an arms embargo on Hezbollah, on the Houthis, on Hamas, and on its other proxies? Of course not. The axis of terror stands together. But countries who supposedly oppose this terror axis call for an arms embargo on Israel. What a disgrace. Well, let me tell you this. Israel will win with or without their support. But their shame will continue long after the war is won. For in defending ourselves against this barbarism, Israel is defending civilizations against those who seek to impose a dark age of fanaticism on all of us. Rest assured, Israel will fight until the battle is won, for our sake and for the sake of the peace and security of the entire world.
On the U.S. front, Trump has been vocal too, criticizing Biden for advising Israel not to attack Iran's nuclear facilities. Trump asked, "Isn't that exactly what we should be attacking? I mean, nuclear weapons are the biggest threat." He called Biden's stance the wrong answer and made it clear that under his leadership, the U.S. would fully support Israel in taking down Iran's nuclear threat. Today, Trump made a bold statement.
When I'm back in the Oval Office, I will support Israel's right to win its war on terror. They have to have a right to win the war. Thank you. And I will give Israel the support that it needs to win, but I do want them to win fast. Wouldn't it be nice if they could win fast? And we have to let them win fast. We will restore stability and peace to the Middle East, and we will...
Things are moving fast here in Israel, and we're keeping a close eye on everything, especially the potential for Israel's imminent strike on Iran. Stay tuned, and of course, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you know when I upload the next video. See you next time.